Welcome back to Our Vision Farm, guys. It's been a while since I've done an update. Right here I have some baby turkeys that we hatched. These are about 3 days old now, and we ended up selling all of our quail that we used to have, and we're starting over with some jumbo brown Coturnix quails. So I actually ordered some hatching eggs from a vendor on eBay. This is my first time actually ordering hatching eggs online, but I found one that was very inexpensive. And I gotta get these in. These are still under the heat lamp, but I just brought them out since it's warm in the daytime. But we hatched those, and we actually had a pretty good hatch rate, so we're gonna start over our quail flock with those jumbo quails. And then once they're old enough to come outside, we're gonna bring them out to our little quail aviary that we had the other quails in. So we're taking a little break from having, well, we did take a little break from having the quails outside for a while because we sold off the rest of our flock. I just wanted to start over brand new with some bigger quails that will give us bigger eggs, and if we do decide on processing for meat, it'll be just a little bit more meat. And tomorrow is butchering day for our meat chickens. This set right here is just about either, I think it's a couple days past the 8-week mark. So they grew really fast, and we skipped feeding them. You always want to skip feeding them the whole day before you're going to be butchering, so they're not full of food and gunk when you are processing. So we have exactly 20 chickens here, and we're having somebody come over tomorrow. They want to learn how to butcher the chickens, so they're going to help us out doing these 20 chickens with just them and our family, and we'll be able to get it done a little quicker, and at the same time teach somebody a valuable skill, because they would like to learn how to do it themselves for when they start raising their meat chickens. Our fruit trees have been doing really good. So then we have another set of meat birds here that's about 2 or 3 weeks behind the other set, so they're not going to be ready to go quite yet. But as soon as we get these butchered, I'm going to go ahead and order chicks for our next round, so keep them in rotation. This whole batch right here, these 20 chickens, are already pre-sold. Customers are waiting for them already, so we'll be able to find buyers for those very soon, as soon as I post them, because these I didn't even get a chance to post because they were already pre-ordered. So chicken business is doing awesome. It's getting definitely to the point where I don't really have to advertise or market too much, and while we're at the farmers markets, we have our little banners that tell people about the chickens, and a lot of people have been interested, and I told them I would let them know as soon as we have more in stock. So our heritage breed turkeys are doing really good. They are still pumping out eggs. We're getting 4 or 5 eggs a day, and I have been running the incubator. You saw the little turkeys I showed you. Those are our most recent batch that we hatched. So we had 10 babies in that hatch. We've already sold baby turkeys. We've sold baby turkeys to 2 customers so far. Then I just finished advertising these over here to see if we can sell some of these off. Some of these are older and we're going to keep them, but the younger 5 little ones over here are about 3 weeks old, so I'm trying to sell those off because we have a little bit too much turkeys right now. Once these get full grown, I'm not really going to have a lot of space to put them in. And then those 10 chicks that we have over there still in the brooder, I'm definitely not going to have space to keep 10 adult turkeys, but we will figure it out in the case where I can't find buyers for them. Maybe we'll build them something separate. We'll figure it out, because I'd love to keep them. They just take up a lot of space when they're full grown like that. Those are our egg laying chickens. What's going on in the gardens right now, our flowers are almost done for, with the exception of sunflowers and zinnias. We still have a ton of those in the garden. Blueberries, I've shown you guys the blueberry bushes before back there. Those are now starting to ripen up, so I've been picking blueberries. In this garden we have our tomatoes, still all green. They're not ripe yet, but we have tomatoes, kale, collards, things like that. A couple zucchini plants. I will show you my sunflowers over here. Those have been doing really good. Those are the mammoth sunflowers, so they're huge. We harvested some carrots, radishes, a broccoli head, some cucumber, all for our little belated Mother's Day brunch that we did. Every year we do a Mother's Day brunch, farm to table style. And I just pick whatever we have ready to pick in the garden. And we make little veggie platters and just try to make as many things as we can, dishes that we can, out of our own homegrown produce. And this is our little herb garden, still doing good too. I still have some yellow squash plants over there. Those are starting to die off. And our dewberries, I've been harvesting berries from every couple of days whenever I remember. Black-eyed peas, I'm letting them dry in the pod just like this. So once they're all brown and crispy like this, I'm going to take the beans, the black-eyed peas, out of the pods and save them in a jar so that I can cook them later on. My husband built a little compost bin over here, a little DIY compost bin, so we can continue making our own compost. I don't see any ripe dewberries at the moment, but I have been picking some every now and then. Here's one. So as you can see, Florida wild dewberries look just like blackberries. They taste a lot like blackberries, just a little bit more tart. So I've been picking these off as they're ripening and just eating them. My son, in his little garden over here, we were able to harvest some beets from this little area right here. You can't really tell because it's covered in weeds, but we harvested some beets for our veggie platter for the Mother's Day brunch. He has a lot of tomato plants growing in here. They are still green as well, so we're waiting for all our tomatoes to ripen at this point. So other than that, I just wanted to give a quick update. As you can see back there, Buddy the cow is gone. His harvest date came and we got him loaded up and to the butcher. It was a very easy process. It wasn't very easy to get him into the trailer, but we did have him somewhat halter trained, so it was a little bit easier than I imagine other families have when they don't halter train their cows. So we got him haltered and into the trailer with the help of a neighbor, and the person who delivered him to the butcher, to the processing place. She took it from there. She took him there, put him in the waiting area, filled out the paperwork so that the butcher would know who the cow belonged to in the morning when they did go to dispatch him. So that went pretty smooth. We waited, I think it was about 10 or 11 days, and they called us back because they like to hang them for about 7-8 days, I believe it is. So they hang them in the cooler that they have to age them. So that is what they did, and then we got him back. He was a Holstein cross. We're not sure what he was mixed with, but he ended up being 400-pound hanging weight for us. So that was actually more than what we expected. Since he was still young, he could have lived to 18-24 months and got probably double the size, but we just had to go ahead and get him done earlier, which I'm glad we did, because once it was all said and done and we put away all the meat, it filled up our whole deep freezer that we have in the back. And we also had to store some in our home freezer inside the house. So if he would have been any bigger, we would have had problems with figuring out where to store him, because in our deep freezer we also keep the meat chickens and the home raised pork that we processed not too long ago, that we do ourselves for our own family. So I'm kind of glad we did him while he was smaller. So when it was all said and done, The actual beef ended up costing us about $5. I would estimate at $5.25 to $5.30 a pound, and that is including what we bought him for as a calf, what we fed him with formula bottle feeding, and everything that we fed him from hay to grain and everything he ate in his lifetime. And that's also including the fee that the person who transferred him over there, she only charged us $50. I gave her $60 to bring him to the butcher place, and that also includes the butcher cost and the slaughter fee. So I'd say that under $6 a pound for home-raised beef is a great price. So at 400-pound hanging weight, the local butcher that we use only charges 70 cents per pound of hanging weight plus a $100 butcher fee. So really, to get him processed was under $400, and I had saved way more than that because we thought it was going to cost more. But luckily he wasn't that heavy, and we were able to pay for that and have some money extra left over from what we had set aside for that. And now we have a freezer full of beef we've been eating off of. It should last us way over a year. And we did share with family, but we're not allowed to sell this meat because it wasn't butchered like in a USDA inspected facility. So it's considered, they even stamp it on the packaging. It says not for sale, not for resale. So it's really just for us and our own family. Beef, we're just going to continue raising it for our own family and probably do a cow every 2 years because they are a lot of work, especially towards the end, and they're a lot of money to feed. So we're gonna take like at least a 1.5 to 2 year break before getting any more, and by then we should be winding down on the meat that we do have in the freezer. So I think that is a good plan. But that is how that went. I wanted to share that with you guys in case you wanted to know how much it costs to raise your own cow. That's pretty much what it winded up costing us, is about $5.25 a pound for the 400 pounds of meat, raising him from 4 days old because he was a really little baby when we first got him. But I wanted to give you guys a update on everything that's been going on in the farm. We've been hatching the baby quails, the turkeys, trying to sell as much as we can and trying to work in the garden as much as time allows. We've been planting stuff in pots. We've been harvesting things, yellow squash, the blueberries, greens, and soon we'll be harvesting tomatoes. I'm excited for those, and lots of cut flowers as well, especially for Teacher Appreciation Week. We sold some flowers for that. We cut a lot of flowers for Mother's Day, and we've just been busy trying to balance everything. The kids are going to start their homeschool year again because we homeschool all throughout the year. So we actually start now in May. We took a little 1.5-month break, and we're going to start our year all over again. So we're trying to figure out how to balance everything. I definitely want to put out some more videos than I have been lately, but we just had to take a break towards the end of April because we were so busy. And now it's a little bit slower. We're still trying to find events and festivals, farmers markets to sell at, and planning events here on our farm. But it's a little bit slower. I don't have any major events booked, so we have a little bit more time to work outside and share videos with you guys. And we're still on this self-employed. Hi, Boots. We're still completely self-employed as a family and homeschooling, and it has felt amazing. It feels so freeing to be able to do this. And some weeks are harder than others. Some weeks we are like barely making it to pay the bills, but then other weeks we are completely blessed with the amount of customers and sales that we get. So it kind of just evens itself out, and I feel like that's going to be for a little bit until everything just levels out and we find a routine that works for us, and we find just a balance of our lifestyle, our new lifestyle, a balance of work and play, and just being able to enjoy our lives. And so that's just what I wanted to update you guys on. Update on the gardens and the animals, how the cow butchering went, and now that it's time to butcher again for chickens, how that is going. That has been a huge blessing so far with the meat chickens, and every day we are meeting more people that are interested in meat chickens. So at this point we just need to keep the supply up so we can meet the demand. But that is a good problem to have, to be able to have that many people interested and have that many orders, that we actually have a wait list for our chickens. Because you guys have been here ever since we started the whole meat chicken business, and now it is going good. So with that said, I'm going to end this video. I will see you guys very, very soon for our next video. Not sure what it will be. Maybe a harvesting video, or just more of an in-depth garden tour so you guys can see what we are growing now in May in Florida. So I'll take you guys on a little tour for that. And I do want to take you guys all the way to the back of our property again, way back where we have like all the marshy area, because I want to see what is going on back there, what has grown back ever since we removed the animals and the fencing from back there. And I want to start getting some tropical things planted back there as well, so we can turn that into some sort of an edible tropical food forest. So as you can see, we're going to have lots of videos coming up soon. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for following along. Don't forget to subscribe. We are very, very close to 1,000 subscribers. So we're excited for that as well. I'll see you guys in the next video.